The Women's Business Center. Your first step to success.
You were talking about how, as a woman, you had some reservations because you weren't around your family. You had to let some of that go. You saw your children at 10 o'clock at night when they were in bed. But men do it all the time.
Yes.
Men do it all the time. And so many of us think, well, that's okay for them, but it's not okay for the woman to do that.
So a lot of us find ourselves not following our dream, our passions, because
we
it's
have
like
guilt.
Yes. Guilt, and along those same lines, along those same lines, the guilt associated with the sacrifices you make with your family, but also women hold back because they say, I'm not ready, I'm not qualified, I need to start at the bottom, I need to do this, I need to do that. Whereas men don't, they just jump right in.
They do.
And they go for the top.
They go for it.
So, one message we have to say to women out there is, if you have the passion,
go for it.
and of course you do have to have the skills and the education for the different position, but don't ever say, no, I'm not ready, no, I can't do this. You just have to do it.
I was so blessed that I grew up with a grandmother. She had no education, and I have to mention her name. Her name was Novia Sotero. And she always said, querer es poder. And I grew up with that, even though I was so poor, and the dreams of an education or being a lawyer were not in my horizon. I mean, within me, querer es poder. Y hace más el que quiere que el que puede. And that to me was always with me.
Say it in English.
To want to do it is the power.
It's being able to do it.
The will to do it is what gives you the power to do it. And whoever wants to do it has the power to do it.
That's
and
right.
will do it.
My mother always said, where there's a will, there's a way.
It's basically that. Hace más el que quiere que el que puede. Because you have a lot of children that are born into wealth and they have opportunities and they do nothing with that.
I think it actually at some point in a way when they're given so much and they don't have life experiences at a young age, difficulties, it kind of like you do a disservice to them because they grow so late in life. As us as women, as mothers, we really need to help our children find their way. Let them find their way by experiencing challenge.
Yes.
Not fixing the problem.
Yes.
Like, well, what would you do? And that's where that spark starts.
Yes,
it starts
because
in
it
them.
is the challenges and overcoming those challenges, those obstacles that makes you the person that you
right.
ultimately
And allowing them to fail.
You
Yes.
have to allow them to fail.
And stand themselves up.
Yes.
That's what makes you understand what doesn't work. Like, how do you know what doesn't work unless you failed?
True. And we both went through that in getting to where we are now. We tried and we didn't succeed, and we tried again until we did succeed.
Perseverance is one of the quality traits.
Yes.
Perseverance, and that's it. That's a lot of it.
Along with that is you have so much scrutiny as a judge in the positions that you have. So it just doesn't stop there. I mean, how do
You have
handle
a bright
that?
light on you 24/7.
Absolutely. And one of the ways that I handle it is that I stay really close to my family. Because when I'm out there,
Everybody's judge.
Everybody's looking at everything that I do with a microscope, as it should be. We need to have transparency in our courts, and people need to trust the individuals that are making day-to-day decisions. Because when I take on the robe, and I put on the robe and I make decisions, I listen to a lot of stories. I listen to a lot of stories about people in the community and their lives. And every one of those stories involves a conflict, and we have a lot of business conflicts that come before the court. Like we have contracts disputes, and we have business partnerships that are like marriages, they fall apart.
Land disputes, a lot of
Land disputes. I mean, and of course, property decisions to make with regards to family issues. Who keeps the house? Who keeps the car? Who keeps the children? When do they visit?
Who keeps the business?
Yes, we make all those kinds of decisions all the time.
And it's in your hands.
The impact
That's
lives.
yes.
We impact the lives of everyday people. Everybody says, well, what does the district court judge do? Well, we affect the lives of people day in and day out. And we make decisions.
You change the course of their life.
Absolutely. So it's really important to listen to the story that they tell and apply the law that applies to the fact, and then make a decision that's going to be fair and just. And the people of this county at first, they're a little leery. They don't know what Aida Salinas Flores is all about. And they get to know you. They get to know you by ways of a marketing campaign. You put yourself out there, you tell them this is who I am, and then they see you at work. And they see the stories that are run about you. and they say, she's making good decisions. And I've run for office, and I've had a couple of challenges along the way, but one of the challenges I received 75% of the vote. The second challenge that I had, I received 80% of the vote. So you know that the people are watching and the people are listening, and the people are smart. They know who's making good decisions and not. Even though we're political junkies, because we know when the elections are, we know who's running for office. The people have lives.
That's right.
They
That's a
worry
very small
about
percentage.
they worry about putting food on their table. They worry about paying the rent. They worry about their families and their school jobs. But we run in a different kind of circle where we are actually in tune with our jobs, how we get to where we are, our office, and what we have to do to stay in that position and continue to serve.
Above all, the key is remaining honest and ethical and following the rules. And I know Judge Aida does that, and I do as well. And by doing that, keeping it simple like that, you're able to maintain or stay above the scrutiny that is imposed upon the position. Along the lines of what Judge Aida was talking about with people that appear before us, on the Court of Appeals, the people don't appear because we're simply reviewing the decisions that were made at the lower court. So when we have court, the only people that come before us are the lawyers. But many of these lawyers have contributed to our campaigns. Many of the lawyers we have been involved in organizations with, or we know them. We've known them. Some of them even have been friends. But we have to stay above that relationship and not consider that relationship at all in our decision-making process. And the lawyers, the good lawyers, the ethical lawyers, and there are the majority out there know that, and they understand that, and they respect that. Occasionally, we will have some that don't and get mad at us and run opponents against us, and that happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to other judges on the court. But you just have to be ready to deal with it. And like I said, if you just have that strict adherence to just remaining honest and ethical, people know that. You develop a reputation for it, and you're respected for it.
Always doing the right thing.
Always doing the right thing.